All right, Jenna's filming today.
Okay, I'm trying not to.
All right, we're going to, and I've said 100 times, I got to start my lecture over. You guys all have the ability to pass. You have the knowledge in your head. You have the stuff I've taught you. You have the things I asked you to write down before you do the test. Multiplication chart, Big G, King Henry, place value, and anything else? PEMDAS. If you write down those things, your life's going to be easier. You all have the ability to get a 90 or higher, every single one of you, if you show your work and take your time. We shouldn't see people done in 2 hours. It should take you longer than 2 hours. Take your time, show your work. I'll notify you how much time you have left as you're working. It's not going to be a shock to you. Logan?
You also told us to do the thing that you wrote up there.
Yeah, PEMDAS? Yeah. Parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. Yeah. All right, so we're going to do the page that starts with the fractions on it. I'm not going to do every problem. I'm going to jump around a little bit, so you're going to have to pay attention to follow along. Remember, I'm going to pick this up, Brock, tomorrow, and I expect to see work shown, answers done. So if I'm working the problem out, I have to show the amount of work I'm doing, which means you're going to have to show the amount of work that I'm doing. Y'all are smart, but not smarter than me. Okay? If I make a mistake, please speak up, because, yeah, sometimes I do. That's why you have 4 hours, and you can go back and check your work at a later time. All right, so we have 4 2/3, subtract 2 5/6. So we're on that problem, find it, and that's the one we're going over. The first step when we're subtracting mixed numbers tells us to change them to improper fractions. Change them to improper fractions. To do that, we multiply the denominator and the whole number, denominator times whole number, and we add the numerator. And that's going to stay over the denominator. So 3 times 4 is?
12.
12 plus 2 is?
14.
14. So I have 14 thirds. Subtract. 6 times 2 is? 12 plus 5 is? 17. Minus 17 sixths. Then I have to find the common denominator. That's mine. I'm going to throw darts at it.
Yeah, it was summer. That's what I planned on doing.
Yeah. Trying to hit all the kids in the head.
This is your class.
I know, right? Okay, so then I have...
Markel especially.
He's so tiny, I'm not sure I'll be able to hit him. Boom! Okay, so now I need to find a common denominator. Something you can do to find a common denominator is look at that multiplication chart on your test that you've written down. Go down the rows, the row that starts with 3 and the row that starts with 6, and find the first number. You with me, Reese? The row that starts with 3, the row that starts with 6, and the first number you're going to find is 6. The first number you're going to find is 6. Now, I want to change both of these fractions without changing the value so that they have a denominator of 6. Okay, so I need to figure out what times 3 gives me 6. Anyone? 2. So 2 over 2. I picked 2 over 2 because I want to multiply that by 1. If I multiply it by 1 whole, that doesn't change the value. I'm changing how it's written. Same as changing $1 to 10 dimes. Okay, so 14 times 2 is 28. This is already over 6, so obviously it's just going to be 1 over 1. And I get 17 sixths. So I have 28 sixths minus 17 sixths. When I add or subtract fractions, I don't mess with the denominator. It's going to stay the same. I do 28 minus 17, and I get 11. So I'm going to have 11 sixths. But wait! When you get to your answer, you cannot leave it improper. When you get to your answer, it cannot be improper. We can make it improper in the problem, but not the answer. To change an improper fraction into a mixed number, I divide my denominator into my numerator. Top dog gets the house. That's how I always remember it. Top dog gets the house. I'm the top dog at home, and sometimes my wife gets mad at me and puts me in the doghouse. Boom. Okay, so my denominator is 6. My numerator is 11. 6 goes into 11 one time. 1 times 6 is 6. Subtract, I'm going to get 5. So I have one remainder 5, or 1 5/6. Which is close to what my estimate was. It's close to what my estimate was. All right, Katie, you wanted to see which one? 6? 8. Let's look at 6. 8 3/10 minus 5 3/5. Now again, let's look at this. Let's look at this. If I ignore my whole numbers, or my fractions, my whole numbers are 8 minus 5, so my answer should be somewhere around 3. I always want to try and get an estimate before I do a problem, because Ethan giving an estimate is going to help me when I look at my answer to see if my answer makes sense. Okay, improper fractions, just like we did in the last one, we multiply and add. 10 times 8 is?
80.
80 plus 3 is?
83.
83. We have that over 10. 5 times 5 is?
25.
Plus 3 is?
28.
28. Over 5. Okay? Yes?
Was the answer to the last one 1 and 5/6?
Yes. That's why I wrote 1 and 5/6. I said the answer was 1 and 5/6.
Yeah, I forgot.
That's the only reason I wrote it, because that was the answer.
And now Jenna told me to check the paper. Before she didn't.
Okay. But you don't have it on your paper?
No,
No, she does.
I do, but I didn't know.
Oh, okay. Paying attention so difficult. Brock can't pay attention right now, so I understand paying attention so difficult. Can we do this problem, Brock, the way it's written? No. Why not? Because it doesn't have a common denominator. I cannot add or subtract fractions without a common denominator. Okay? So I go 5 and 10. I look at my multiplication chart. I have the 10 row, I have the 5 row. I go down, the first number that appears in both rows is 10. So I need to change both of these so that they have a fraction of 10. Those of you paying attention, this will be 3 or 4 problems on the test next Tuesday that you should be able to get right very easily. Okay, what do I multiply by here? By 1 over 1, and I have 83/10. What do I multiply by here? 2 over 2. 28 times 2 is 56. My denominator is going to stay 10. I have 83 minus 56. That's a 7. 13. That's a 7. So I have 27/10 if I did that right. Ethan, did I do that right? Is it 27/10 when I subtract? You don't even know. You weren't paying attention. Okay, 27/10, improper. When we need our answer, it needs to be in a mixed number. Top dog gets the house. So we have 2 and 7/10. Now, can we simplify 7/10? No. The only thing that divides evenly into 7 and 10 is 1. So if it only divides by 1, then it's already in lowest terms.
Fix all of them.
Okay.
All right, so let's look at the
Is it
next
wrong?
one. Oh, let's jump down to where it says connect, which has the same product as, what is that, 2/3 times 8? Okay, so we want to know which one of those answer choices has the same as 2/3 times 8. Y'all with me? Yes.
So we're gonna-
You have the answer? Okay. Do you think it's A? All right, well, let's check it. If I'm going to multiply fractions without drawing all the pictures,
Oh, sorry, that was better.
if I drew the pictures, I'd have 3 rows of 8. Then I'd circle 2 of those 3 rows. Okay, so if I want to multiply this, if it just gives me, Brock, if it just gives me the problem and I don't have to recognize the picture, I can put a whole number over 1 and it saves the same value. If it says you have $8, well, there's no $8 bill, so you can have 8 ones. So 8 $1 bills is the same as saying 8. That's why we put it over 1. If I were to divide, top dog gets the house, I'd have 8 divided by 1, which is going to give me 8. Then when you multiply fractions, Logan, when you multiply fractions, you go straight across. 2 times 8 is 16. 3 times 1 is 3, which gives me an improper fraction. Top dog gets the house. 16 divided by 3. Too many times I hear you saying 3 divided by 16. That's not right. 16 divided by 3. 3 goes into 16 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. Subtract, you get 1. 5 remainder 1, or 5 and 1/3. Can you simplify 1/3? No. It's already in lowest terms. So I want to know which of these answer choices, A, B, C, or D, is going to give me an answer of 5 and 1/3. Okay? Gracie says she thinks it's A. So let's do, our goal, our target, is 5 and 1/3. So let's look at the answer choice A. Ethan, we'll look at answer choice A. Answer choice A says 5 6 times 7. Is that right? Okay, if I want to see it's correct, I could do 6 rows of 7, make my little counters, and then circle 5 of those 6 rows. So let's see if we put 7 over 1, because that doesn't change the value. Multiply straight across. 5 times 7 is 35. 6 times 1 is 6. So I have 35 6. When multiplying fractions, you just go straight across. God bless you. Okay, improper fraction, we can't leave it that way. Top dog gets the house. 35 divided by 6. Y'all with me? I'm not blocking your view. 35 divided by 6. 6 goes into 35 5 times. 5 times 6 is 30. Am I doing this right?
Yeah.
Okay. 35 minus 30 is 5. So I have 5 remainder 5, which gives me 5 and 5 6. As long as I did all this math right. Did I do all my math right? Okay. So it's not A. Who has a different answer for that? Ethan? D. Let's try D. D says 1/3 times 16. 1/3 times, is it 16? 1/3 times 16. Again, my target for this problem is 5 and 1/3. I'm going to change 16 to 16 over 1. Multiply straight across. 16 thirds. 16 thirds. Top dog gets the house. So I have 16 divided by 3. It's 5. Subtract. I have 5 remainder 1, or 5 and 1/3, which is the same. We already said 1/3 can't be simplified, so we're all good. Questions? Awesome. Yes, ma'am.
Can you do number 10?
Number 10. Let me look at number 10. The one at the top?
Yeah.
9 and 1/6 minus 3 and 4/5?
Yeah.
Is that what it says? 9 and 1/6 minus 3 and 4/5. Did my old eyes write that correctly?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We multiply and add, so I get 9 and 6 is 9 times 6 is 54 over 6. Oh, 55 over 6, because we didn't add our numerator. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 4 is 19. 19 fifths. Okay, any ideas on what my common denominator is going to be?
30.
Anna? 30, excellent. And again, I can look at my multiplication chart, go down the 5 row, go down the 6th row. And I'm going to see the first one that appears in both is 30. I got to multiply by a fraction that equals 1, so I don't change the value. 6 times what equals 30? 5. Okay? 55 times 5. I don't know that in my head. Did you already do it, Lily?
No.
Sorry.
275. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Logan, is that what you got when you did this?
I didn't get all of it.
All the way to 10?
It's not.
So you didn't get to the 6th problem on this paper?
No.
Oh, okay, I understand.
You're on the fifth one.
Okay?
I'm on the
And what am I multiplying? Well, then why aren't you on paying attention?
on paying attention.
What did I multiply by 5 to get 30? 6. 6, 6. So I have 19 times 6. Or, why did I put that line there? 19 times 6, 54, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have 114. 114. Now remember, if I just look at my whole numbers, I have 9 minus 3, so my answer is going to be somewhere around 6. Somewhere around 6, doing my estimation. So then I have 275 thirtieths minus 114 thirtieths. That's a 161. 161 over 30. That's an improper fraction. Can't leave it that way. Top dog gets the house. Okay, so how many times does 30 go into 161? 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. So 5 is 150. Subtract. I get 5, remainder 11. Or 5 and 11 thirtieths. And that's close to where my answer was. I said it should be around 6. And that's good. You three just sit there and talk. Yes, ma'am.
Will you do number 2?
No, I want to jump down and do a couple with the counters, because that's a lot of what you'll probably see on that stupid test next week. So I may come back and do number 2.
Okay.
But let's jump over, and we're going to do number 1 over here on the right hand side, the last problem. The last problem on the right hand side, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 rows of 5 counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 15. So I have 15 total, and 2 of the rows of 5 are going to be simplified. Yes, ma'am. Okay? So, I know I'm multiplying by 15 because I have 15 total counters. And I'm going to multiply it by something over 15. How many out of the 15 are circled? 10. So I have 10 15s times 15. Is that up there?
No.
Why not?
Simplify.
Because you have to simplify 10 15s. And even though I know you know how to do this, we're going to find the factors of 15 and the factors of 10. Some of you asked yesterday the differences between factors and multiples. This is how you find factors. 1 times 15, 3 times 5. That's all there is. 1 times 10, 2 times 5. That's all there is. The greatest common factor is 5. I divide both of these times 5. Or both of these by 5, sorry. And that means that this simplifies down to 2/3. So then this becomes 2/3 times 15. Okay, 2/3 times 15.
don't ever.
which is answer choice.
A. And I didn't do it that way, but all I did was, is it okay if we just take it because I put it into fractions and rows, so the circle part is 2 thirds, if I just say that.
Yeah, that's another way you could do it. Is you could say we have 2 of the 3 rows circled. So 2 of the 3 rows, 2/3 times 15. Okay, that's actually probably a smarter way to do it. It's
Don't
probably
erase it.
already a smarter way to do it.
I said don't erase it.
All right, I will do one more. The one below it? Barry has 21 stamps from a hobby shop. He gave, oh my gosh, what's that fraction? 3/7 of them to his sister. How many stamps does he have left? So we want to find 3/7 of 21. So if I wanted to make a picture, I need 21 total counters. But I need them in groups of 7. So how many groups would I totally need?
3.
3. 3 groups of 7, because I'm going to have 21 total counters. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Markel, please pay attention. Okay? So I want 21 total counters, but I need them in groups of 7, so that tells me I have to have 3 rows. Okay? How many of these rows should I circle? 3. So my answer is 9. Is that answer choice there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, no, but it asked how many stamps did he have left?
How many did he have left? Excellent. 9's there though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. 9 is there. 9's the wrong answer if you don't go both steps. He gave 9 of them away. So he gave 9 out of the 21. He gave 9 out of the 21 away. So he has 12 left. Or you just Or we could have changed it to how many he had left. If he gave away 3/7, he kept 4/7 of the 21. So there are several ways you could do this. You need to really recognize the counter way though, because that's probably how you'll see it written. Brock.
Can we do
The other one.
Right above the one we did one below.
Oh, the complete the model to solve?
Yeah.
Alright. This is going to be the last one. This is going to be the last one. So complete the model to solve. 7/8 of 16. And 7/8 times 16 is the same. Of or times is the same. Okay? So now, it also draws, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 rows? Or 8 rows? 8 rows of 2. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Jordan, you with me? And we want to figure out what 7/8 of 16 is. So we have 16 counters. And we need 8 rows. Rows run horizontally. 8 rows that have a total of 16. So that means there's 2 in each row. Okay, then the problem asks, how many counters are there, right?
How many rows? How many rows?
How many rows of counters are there? Since rows run horizontally, how many rows are there?
8.
8. Then it says, how many counters are in each row?
2.
2. So there are 8 rows, 2 counters in each row. Then it says what?
Circle how many blank rows.
So circle how many of the rows? Okay, how many of the rows do we have to circle?
7.
7. So we circle 7 of the rows. 7 of these rows of 2. And then what's the next part say?
How many counters are circled?
How many counters are circled?
14.
14. So my answer would be 14.
No, the first 2 more.
Do what?
Look down. Yeah, they both of them. 16. And then 7, 8, 16.
Well, yeah, but I said these are the same. 7/8 of 16 is the exact same thing as 7/8 times 16. Full, so 14 is the answer for both of these. Does it make sense? All right. We added or we subtracted with mixed numbers today, which means we changed them to improper fractions. We found a common denominator. We subtracted the numerators. We changed them back to mixed numbers. You should never, and the rock means never, miss a subtraction of mixed number problems. We multiplied without counters and with counters. So you shouldn't miss any of those either. Okay? We've done order of operations. We shouldn't miss any of those. That's just this week. We did identifying properties of triangles. You shouldn't miss those. What else did we do?
I only did yesterday.
We did. Oh, we found factors. We found factors, which we shouldn't miss. We did prime numbers, composite numbers, which we shouldn't miss. All of these are little steps. And if you think about having everything we cover having 1 or 2 or 3 problems, 1 or 2 or 3 problems, that's a lot of problems you're going to get correct. If you're taking the test and you get to number 8 and you say, I don't know how to do number 8, just mark it, skip it, and go on. Mark it, skip it, and go on. Come back and do number 8 later, because you may see a question later on down the line that jogs your memory. Oh yeah, 9 plus 1 is 10. That's how you get it. Okay? So, those are my steps. Thank you, Jenna. You may stop it now.